Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to our annual Ingham Institute Awards event. I'd like to start by acknowledging any Aboriginal elders, past, present and emerging. And again, a very warm welcome to this event. A little different to last year. You perhaps remember last year we were in a room at the William Inglis with 550 other people. Today, like many things, we're doing this, or much of this meeting, virtually. We do have a team of people here. There's about 30 people socially distanced in the foyer with hand wipe and napkins so that we're following all the rules that we should. And of course, we have many more people online, and we're delighted that you could join us. There was never any doubt that we would be holding an event, because while COVID disrupted many things, and it did disrupt some of our research, essentially the research work continued, and that very, very important and impactful work continued. I acknowledge our very, very important partners here at the Ingham Institute. Our wonderful friends, Southwest Sydney Local Health District, University of New South Wales and Western Sydney University. And as anyone who works in any of those facilities and the Ingham Institute knows, that partnership is pretty special and pretty amazing, and really what we're all about. People ask me, so what's the Ingham about? I say the Ingham is really Southwest Sydney LHD, UNSW and Western Sydney Uni. So very important to acknowledge those special partners. I also want to thank our sponsors, and that actually takes on quite a different meaning today. So you remember the event we had last year, had a wonderful event, and David and Ali and the marketing team and others started to plan our 2020 event way back in 2019, and of course a lot's happened since then. But it soon became clear that we weren't going to be able to have an event with 500 or 600 people in one room, and so we had to start thinking differently. And I congratulate the marketing team and Ali for coming up with a different format today. But as David spoke to the sponsors, many of them said, look, we would like to provide the sponsorship and support anyway. And that was interesting because a number, and I'll read them in a moment, a number were first timers, and their first exposure to the Ingham Institute and the great work that our researchers do was at last year's event. But your work so inspired them that they wanted to come back. In fact, our largest sponsor and one other signed up on the night of last year's awards event. That was Coolmore. But you inspired them through your work. They loved not just the research they heard about, but the spirit in the room and the humble nature of the researchers, you know, each of you doing this amazing work. So they sponsored anyway. And let me just take a moment to read through the sponsors. So our event partner, Coolmore Australia, as I said, they were new to last year and they're back again and keen to be long-term partners. Three organisations that we've worked with for a very long time, and organisations who do much more than support our awards night, but the Perich Group with Tony and Ron. They donate funds to many, many areas, and Tony in particular works very hard with Narellan Rotary, and many of you have seen that, again, we got almost $300,000 from Narellan Rotary to go to various areas of research. The Vitocco Charitable Foundation, overseen by Arnold and Irene Vitocco, board member, as is Tony Perich, very generous, doing a lot beyond the support today. Thank you to the Vitocco Charitable Foundation. The Lady Mary Fairfax Trust, and our chairman Terry Goldacre sits on the board of the Lady Mary Fairfax Charitable Trust, and again, very generous. And they've been with us since long before the building went up, each of those partners that I spoke about. Equity trustees who manage our money have supported us. GE Healthcare, well known to people like Mark Parsons and others that have anything to do with imaging. JDH Capital, again, a new supporter. Max Brenner Chocolates, also owned by Arnold Vitocco, very generous. The Inghams Group, and David worked with the Inghams Group that are unrelated now to the Inghams family to get a lovely big donation of $450,000 to pancreatic cancer for Minoti and her team. We're delighted with that. They've sponsored this event. Komatsu, also another new sponsor, and then supporters that have been with us for many years, the Liverpool Catholic Club, and of course the LHD is a great supporter of this event. So I did want to just take a moment to thank and acknowledge those sponsors, particularly. You know, they're really, we are doing some things for their social media and to give them some exposure, but they're not there for the exposure. They're there to help with research, and we're very, very grateful. So in a moment I'll ask Professor Bouquet to, in fact you could perhaps make your way up now, Professor, or Les. He's shaking his head. He loves to make me sweat. He does that most days actually. But there's a lot of things we could say about 2020, some that perhaps you wouldn't want to repeat, and you hear all sorts of words, but I think one of the things that struck me is the way that people in this institute conducted themselves and in the health system and the universities through COVID-19. It truly has been amazing, and not the least of which, and I see some of the folk from the clinical trials team, but during the year we're involved in more than 15 COVID clinical trials, and those moved very quickly, and ethics was approved quickly, and very, very impressive. Many other things happened, but one thing that did happen that was very sad, of course, and wanted to mention today was the passing of Mr. Bob Ingham, who is the founder, of course, of the Ingham Institute. And if some of you got to watch the funeral or saw some of the media coverage, he was involved in many things, a great businessman, philanthropist, very well known and very successful in thoroughbred horse racing. But his passion was the Ingham Institute. And on Channel 9 News, you saw him talk about why he set the Ingham Institute up and his passion for giving back and doing something for Southwest Sydney, and knowing that that would benefit people beyond. So I did want to acknowledge his passing. We were heavily involved in some of the logistics of streaming the funeral, and we're proud to be doing that. And really to reinforce the value that all of us place on the legacy that Mr. Bob Ingham left behind. And I think I speak for every single one of us and our partners, but we're absolutely committed to Bob's vision. So with that, if I could hand across to someone else who's very committed and passionate about what we do, and that's Professor Les Bouquet. So I'll hand across to you, Les. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Darryl. God, I've got to look at the camera, do I? Thank you. What a wonderful thing to do. Okay, I too would like to acknowledge the footsteps of the custodians of this land on which we stand, and the billions and billions of footsteps of the traditional custodians of this land. And I also want to acknowledge the broad shoulders, the strong shoulders of my predecessors who have given so much and contributed so much to the development of this Ingham Institute. People like Michael Barton and others who have put an incredible amount of work to ensure that the Ingham Institute, the research side of the Ingham Institute, is what it is today. First of all, I'd like to say this is not a prize-winning ceremony, because we're all winners. Anybody who is involved in research is a winner. And I think I'd first of all like a round of applause for those who did not get a prize. So let's, come on, give them all a prize. I got a prize. That's this bow tie which my secretary gave me, and I think it's a wonderful prize. I also would like to acknowledge those of you who are wearing bow ties today. I don't know if you know, but we are going to have a review of our scientific work at the Ingham Institute, and those that are not wearing bow ties will be noted. The prize-winning ceremony or time of the year is a time to celebrate the work that we do at the Ingham Institute. And we do incredible work at the Ingham Institute, work that is relevant to the lives of our patients, to the well-being of our community. And each and every one of you should be so happy that you've had an opportunity in life to immerse yourself into asking questions and getting answers, and that is what research is all about. And I congratulate all of you, your supervisors, all of you who have trained you to arrive at this moment. So without further ado, I would like very much to thank you formally for inviting me, even though I never do. Thank you. And could I please have a list of those who have been awarded a prize?
No, there's a different format.
But I specifically asked him for that so that I could embarrass him, but okay. Give me that format then, thank you.
Thank you for your
kind words. Thank you for your kind words, yes. And can I note that you're not wearing a bow tie?
Often in the earlier stages of my career at Ingham, I would write speaking notes for Professor Bouquet, and I don't think he's ever read one single line from those speaking notes. So, but all jokes aside, we're very grateful to have you, Les, as part of the team, and I know how much you do for us, both up front, but also behind the scenes, which many people don't see. So we're very, very grateful, and thank you for your opening comments and kind words. So what we'll do now is officially commence with the awards. And our first award this morning is the Early Career Research Award. And to present this award, I'd like to introduce to you, in fact everybody knows, Associate Professor Lois Holloway. And Lois leads the Medical Physics Research Group here at the Ingham Institute. And I invite Lois to come on stage and perhaps talk about this award and announce the winner. Oh.
Thanks, Daryl. Thanks for the opportunity of being able to present these awards today. I think it's really exciting that in our current environment, we do have the ability to share some of these jobs around. We all get to jump behind the camera. And hopefully not too many of us are on mute today, because hopefully we're all interested in learning about the various people that are part of our organisation. Unfortunately, we haven't all been able to gather together like this during the year, and it's really exciting to see a number of people here together today. The Early Career Award for the Ingham Institute is presented to someone that's been working in the field for 5 years or less and has really taken the opportunities to make the best of those circumstances that they've been in. And the award today goes to someone that's done a fantastic job of utilising the collaboration opportunities within the Ingham Institute. And that's perhaps clearest by the fact that this nomination came from 3 of us. And it came from a nomination across 2 research groups at the Ingham Institute rather than just one. And this person has also been quite instrumental in linking research between the clinic and the Ingham Institute, which is obviously one of the really key opportunities that we have within this space, to be able to work with our clinical partners and with our research partners. Some of us wear multiple hats, some of us only wear one, but we all get to work together in this space. She's done a fantastic job with her PhD, which was awarded over the last couple of years. She's also done a fantastic job in receiving some early career research fellowship funding, which we all know is highly sought after. And in this first period of her early research career, has done an incredible job of getting research worked through, working out the door, and to really develop the research team within that environment. The other aspect that's been achieved over this previous year, and particularly in 2020 where things have been incredibly challenging, is not only to develop her own research, but to also work with others to further develop the research of others within the Ingham Institute. And that's been seen with the development of an early career research group within the Ingham Institute to enable individuals in that space to support each other. Something that's really key for all of us to be able to have these conversations, to learn from each other, to be able to do the best for our research and to be able to do the best for our patients. So today I'm really excited to welcome up onto stage Dr. Vigneski Bartolomei. Congratulations.
Thank
Nikki.
you.
It has been an incredible pleasure watching your growth and development over many number of years now, and super excited to be able to continue working with you in the future for me, but also for many, many others in this room. Thank you.
Thank you, Lois, for your kind words. I'm extremely humbled and grateful for being selected for this award. And this achievement is not mine alone, and there are many to thank. First of all, I would like to thank all my amazing mentors, Professor Michael Barton, Professor Delaney, Professor Vinod, Professor Apte, and Associate Professor Lois Holloway. This award is a testament to what we can achieve as an early career researcher when you have the right support from the right people in the right environment. And thank you also to the teams that I've worked with, including CCOR and medical physics team, especially my good friend, Dr. Shivani Kumar, who has been my rock and inspiration from the beginning. And I also like to thank my family for their love and support, for putting up with me, working late and weekends throughout my career, especially my husband, Huang, and my two gorgeous boys, Vinay and Vishal. And I'm also grateful to Sphere for supporting my research with the fellowship. And last but not least, thank you to the Ingham Institute for offering recognition to an early career researcher like me. It means a lot, and I'm humbled and extremely grateful. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Lois, and congratulations, Vicky, and what lovely words from both you and Lois, and also just lovely to hear about so many people mentoring and supporting you, and I like to think that's one of the key things about the people at the Ingham Institute. They love to see everybody thrive, and particularly young people as you're coming through your career. So again, congratulations. So the next award is the Higher Degree Student Award, and Dr. Tara Roberts, who's sitting right here and leads our Cancer and Inflammation Research Group, will be presenting this award. Tara is also a senior lecturer in oncology at WSU's School of Medicine. So welcome, Tara, and we look forward to hearing about your nominated recipient.
Thank you, Daryl. I'm very honoured to be able to present the award to my nominated recipient today. This candidate is one of our clinician researchers. She has done an exceptional job during her PhD. She has managed to publish 4, nearly 5 papers during her PhD. She's run a prospective clinical trial, and she has worked with both industry and philanthropy partners to obtain funding to support her research. But through all of this, her real drive has been her passion for trying to help her patients, particularly those patients with stage 4 lung cancer. And I think that her passion has been what has really inspired us as well in the work we do. And I must say I am privileged to be one of her supervisors, along with Therese Becker, Victoria Bray and Wei Chua. And I'd like to congratulate Dr. Pei Ding as the recipient for this year's Higher Degree Award.
Thank you. Thank you, Tara. So I just learned 1 minute ago that I need to give a short speech. Thank you very much for the award, Ingham Institute, and everybody who has supported me throughout my journey as a PhD student at Ingham Institute. I was just driving in this morning in the car, and I realized that it's 5 years ago, nearly today, when it's the first time I met with Therese and Tara at Ingham Institute, talking about my clinical question as a medical oncology advanced trainee. With their help, as well as clinicians, my supervisor, Dr. Wei Chua, Professor Wei Chua, and Dr. Victoria Bray, who can't be here today, but I hope they are Zoom in, we managed to provide some answers to my questions. And this place has been really nurturing and supportive to any crazy ideas or research questions that I have. And it has been really inspiring and humbling experience in the last 5 years being here. And I hope to continue the collaboration now as a medical oncologist specialist, not in the local LHD, but we will start having more collaboration in the future with other LHD as well. So thank you very much, everyone, for this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Pei, and congratulations. Very exciting. The next award is the Excellence in Teaching Award, and I've got the honour of presenting this award. As I think many of you would know, we have 360 researchers here at the Ingham Institute. We haven't had 360 researchers here for some time because we've been operating slightly differently with many people working from home. But we're proud to say that half of our researchers are either clinicians, allied health members, nurses, clinical trial coordinators and teaching staff with our university partners, Western Sydney Uni and of course UNSW. Many of our researchers supervise multiple PhD students. In fact, many of our researchers do all of the above. They research, they treat patients and they teach. Very busy people. So our reward recipient is one of those people that does all of the above. The award winner is a senior lecturer in medicine at Western Sydney University, and this is also where he started his research group, the Translational Gastroenterology Group, back in 2011. His research programs span both clinical and basic science and have strong ties to Campbelltown and Camden hospitals, where a number of the clinical research projects are based. It is also these hospitals in which he is a practicing gastroenterologist and hepatologist. The recipient is highly recognised for the quality of his clinical teaching for junior medical officers at Campbelltown Hospital, and he's developed a number of virtual 3D animations to visualise gut physiology processes for medical students. His teachings are not limited to the classroom but extend to the community, and he's an avid communicator of medical information to the public and has actually produced websites, awareness campaigns and articles for health promotion in the community. So with that introduction, I would like to present this year's Excellence in Teaching Award to Dr. Vincent Ho.
Wow. Thank you so much, Darryl, and thank you to the Ingham Institute and South Western Sydney Local Health District for this nomination. It's been amazing to be nominated, but I have to say that when I was a student, I was very much inspired by my teachers. I was inspired as a junior doctor by my teachers. I remember as an intern at Concord Hospital, one of my teachers was actually Professor Les Bouquet, who's sitting here. So I remember the quality of teaching, and I resolved one day to provide good quality teaching. Hopefully I've done that, but I really want to thank not just my colleagues, my family, but importantly, all the students out there, the students in particular that are looking for good quality teaching, looking for inspiration. I hope that as teachers, we can do that for you. So, thank you all.
Thank you, Vincent. The next award is the Best Research Support Award. To present this award is Professor Minoti Apti. And Bob Ingham had a vision of world-class research to be conducted here in southwest Sydney. And the Institute's proud to have researchers such as Minoti, who was the first in the world to successfully isolate a cell devoted to producing scar tissue in pancreatic cancer patients. An amazing achievement. So I'd like to invite Minoti to present this next award. Thank you, Minoti.
Thank you very much, Darryl, and it is an honor and privilege for me to be able to present the Best Research Support Award today. And I am delighted to present it to my nominee, Dr. Srinivas Portula, because as many of you might know, Sri did his PhD with our group a few years ago, and he's brought the same dedication and work ethic that he displayed during his PhD candidature to his new role at the Ingham Institute. He's been supporting all the basic researchers on level 4 and 5, almost 17 groups now for a while. And as the researchers themselves would know, he has this most amazing ability to be able to deal with a lot of problems with his big smile and a can-do attitude, I think, which is appreciated by a lot of people. But the other thing is that Sri also has this basic, because he's been fundamentally well-trained with our group, he appreciates the challenges that researchers face in terms of equipment and how it works and troubleshooting. So Sri's always helped everyone. He also has this great ability to negotiate with equipment suppliers for getting the best maintenance contracts, which I'm sure helped the Institute go a long way. He's also very much involved in the social aspect and the social fabric of the Ingham. He attends most everything, and he's well known by our patients and consumer groups that support the Institute. So without much ado, I'd like to invite Sri up here. I'm really proud to present this award to you, Sri. Congratulations.
Thank you, Darryl. Thank you all. It's really humbling and encouraging for me to receive this award. And I would like to thank the selection committee and the nominees and the sponsors for this award. I'm really humbled to know that I've been nominated to this award by multiple groups. Thank you, all of you. As Dr. Minoti has just introduced, yes, I started as a PhD student in this institute around 9 years ago now, and I had an incredible journey. I had great mentors and great colleagues who have helped me to learn whatever I learned. So this has been my first place of work in Australia, where I started working towards a professional career. So yeah, it's been amazing. And thank you to Pancreatic Research Group and Professor Apte for accepting me into the PhD program that gave me a chance to get into this institute. Thank you. And after the PhD, I started moving into research management role, where I've been mentored again by management such as Darryl, Professor Bouquet. They enormously supported the wet labs and my role. So it has been an incredible help that I received. I'd also like to thank all the wet lab researchers who always maintain the lab standards to the highest. And yeah, we can promise that we'll uphold those standards, and we'll envision your dream to make this a world-class research institute, Darryl. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Sri, and congratulations. And I'm always taken by the way people speak so beautifully and so humbly. And one thing we love about Sri, he's always smiling. I don't think I've ever seen him and there he is again, always smiling, and just a wonderful part of the culture and the team here at the Ingham Institute. And Minoti, thank you for presenting the award. You know, you hear many recurrent themes today when people say thank you, and often it's around mentors and people that have helped in their career. And I know Minoti has been a wonderful and continues to be a wonderful mentor, worked very closely with the Franklin Women's Program, but mentors many, many people. So thank you, Minoti. So we're actually staying very nicely to time, which is good. And that actually brings us to the final award, and our most prestigious award, and that's the Lady Mary Fairfax Distinguished Researcher Award. And Lady Mary, I think, has passed, obviously, but her trust continues to support this award and to donate funds to the Ingham Institute. As I said before, very generous and very connected with the Ingham Institute, the members of that board and others that know Lady Mary knew Lady Mary Fairfax well. So to present this award today, I'd like to invite Professor Mark Parsons to join us. I think while Mark hasn't been here very long, He's very quickly become known to many of you. Another person who's always smiling. But Mark is, as you know, I'm sure, is Professor of Medicine and Neurology at UNSW South West Sydney Clinical School and the Ingham, and in the Department of Neurology at Liverpool Hospital. He's also acting head of South West Sydney Clinical School. Again, you would know that Mark is an internationally recognised leader in stroke medicine and stroke clinical trials and brain imaging, and of course he's translated much of that research into clinical practice. He's also very known. I've found that companies are coming out of the woodwork that want to come and talk to us and have Mark in the room, so we've been enjoying that as well. But Mark, I'll hand across to you to present this award, and thank you.
Thanks, Daryl. Hi, everyone. Yes, I'm quite new here, so I'm privileged to actually be up here and giving this big award. And I think it'll become fairly apparent who's going to win the award as I read out there what they've done. But anyway, it's supposed to be a surprise. So this award recipient joined South Western Sydney Research Community in 2008 when she was appointed as Professor of Infant, Child and Adolescent Psychiatry at the School of Psychiatry, UNSW. More recently, she's taken on a number of leadership positions within the local health district, the Ingham Institute and SPEAR. This recipient also actively contributes to a number of important programs such as the Mentoring for the Franklin Women Program, the Disability Champion on the UNSW Medicine Equity, Diversity and Inclusion Committee, otherwise known as EDI, and as a member of the Scientific Advisory Committee of the Ingham. Her research, much of her research has been directly translated into health benefits in our local community and more broadly. And indeed, she conducted a world-first study for the early identification of childhood developmental disorders like autism, and developed the Quality of Life Autism Scale, which is used by more than 35 child development teams across 18 countries. More recently, her team's worked alongside New South Wales Health and GP clinics across southwestern Sydney to develop a new Blue Book program and online app to collectively screen for learning development vulnerabilities for children as young as 12 months. And just in her spare time, she's supervised a total of 26 independent learning projects with our medical students in southwestern Sydney, 10 PhDs, and 1 honours student since her appointment in 2008. So I'd like to announce the 2020 Lady Mary Fairfax Distinguished Researcher of the Year, Professor Valsa Epen. Congratulations, Valsa. Hold it up, I think. Is that the plan? Do you want me to hold it too, or just Valsa? I don't want to take over. Congratulations. Thank you. I'll take that away.
Thank you very much indeed. It's a great honour and it's very humbling to be recognised this way. And I would like to thank Jeremy Wilson, who is the predecessor of Mark Parson, who nominated me. And so it's kind of new for Mark, but really glad that he's doing a baton pass as well through this particular event. I would like to say a huge shout out to my family, my husband and my 2 daughters, who put up with me day and night over the weekend and holidays. And so a huge thank you. I draw my inspiration from the patients, the children, the families that I see in the clinic, and that's where my research questions start. So again, a huge thank you to them who give generously in their time, spirit, ideas, and follow us around with our various programs and continue in follow-up studies to be maintaining their participation. A huge thank you to them. Also, I would like to say a huge thank you to my work family, the research team. I'm incredibly grateful to them because they work very, very hard indeed. And I'm not making it up. They really work very hard. Too many of them to name, so I will let it pass. And too many people who have provided inspiration, guidance, operational advice, and thank you to all of them. And last but not the least, the funders. And Ingham Institute has been blessed because of all the funding agencies, the South West Sydney linked families, who have been very committed to promoting research and supporting the Ingham Institute and the research we do here. So a huge thank you to them as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Valsa. And you talk about Bob Ingham's passion for making a difference. Valsa sums up that passion. I'm sure many of you have heard her present. She's spoken at the luncheons that are held at Camden. She was a guest of honour at the two events ago, and her passion was just infectious. By the time she left the room, everybody wanted to support Valsa's wonderful work, and we enjoy the pitter-patter of little feet that the little children that are getting or involved in the research in the corridor there, and we just congratulate you, and lovely to have you a part of the Ingham Institute, Valsa. So congratulations to all our award winners. All spoke beautifully. I'm always struck by the fact that they talk about everybody else and thank everybody else and never mention their own achievements. And of course, their achievements are pretty impressive. But as Les said, there's many, many other people in this building, everybody doing an amazing job in the research space. So we acknowledge that as well. I'd like to thank Ali and the marketing team, and I can see Paul there, for organising this event. We're doing it a little differently. We're streaming it using a professional organisation as opposed to a standard Zoom. And I think we'll be doing more of these, not necessarily the awards night. We're hoping our next one is live and bigger and better than ever. But we're working with a streaming company today to give you a nice professional event. But most importantly, I really do want to thank each of you, as Les said, for what you do. And that's the people doing the research. Obviously, that's fundamental, but particularly those providing the support behind the scenes. And we know research is all about collaboration and teamwork. And as a support team, we feel privileged to be able to serve you, and we want to get better and better at serving and supporting your research. And we talk regularly about the work that you do, and I know David Stewart, who's our head of philanthropy, he goes out and talks to major donors, and he's really starting to build some momentum. And he loves telling your stories, and he is very passionate about what you do, and you give him wonderful stories to tell about the difference you're making and the work you're doing. And I can't think of anything really that's more important and more noble than medical research and finding new ways of treating and helping patients. So on behalf of our university partners, UNSW, Western Sydney Uni, Southwest Sydney LHD, the Ingham Institute team, our chairman Terry Goldacre and the Ingham Institute board, I want to say a very, very sincere thank you. It is truly inspirational to be working alongside you and doing our best to provide a home to support your research. It's been a challenging year. I think enough's been said at many, many meetings about that. I'm sure there'll be many people somewhat glad to see the end of this year, but I'm sure there's also some learnings out of it and some things that we're doing differently that will stay. So if you celebrate Christmas, I wish you a Merry Christmas, but for everyone, I wish you a wonderful, restful break. As you know, we close for a period of time, and I'm sure everybody is ready for a rest and some family time. And with that, I'll close the meeting. And again, thank you everybody for your attendance today, and thank you particularly to our award winners. Thank you.